Yes, people. Welcome back to another live stream on the channel. We are live. We're going to talk some Liverpool, and yeah, we're just going to talk about that absolute dross, whatever you want to call it. We are going to watch some football as well on the side. We're going to keep an eye on the. I say keep an eye on it. We're not in the title race, but we'll keep an eye on the scores anyway, because I suppose if Arsenal somehow lose, it's only 4 points, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? So bless up everyone in the chat, man. Hope everyone's doing well. And yeah, it's going to be a good stream. Bless up to everybody in the chat. Slot out. Bring Klopp back ASAP. Big up reacts. What more now for slot out reacts? Well, we're going to talk about it, mate. We are going to talk about it. And I did see an interesting tweet this morning from Indy. Now, for me, he's very hit and miss when it comes to news. Very hit and miss. But this is what he's had to say. Exclusive. Liverpool are concerned. Jurgen Klopp would say yes. Liverpool owners / officials are really starting to get concerned over the team performances, not just the results. Arne Slot's job is safe for now, but if the performance don't pick up, they won't hesitate to make a change mid-season. Sources are saying that the club owners think Jurgen Klopp might be open to a sensational return, but as of now, there's been no contact. Interesting. Big up, my G. Yeah, big up, man. All right, footy. You okay? Nice one. Liverpool losing my birthday. Oh, bro. I'm sorry about that, man. That's yeah. That's yeah. That's yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. It's a mad one. It is well and truly a mad one. So, you know what? Which game should we watch? Man City? Oh, fuck it, we'll put Arsenal on. Yes, we'll watch the Arsenal game. Bless up to everyone, though, man. We're in quotes after slot after post match. I've not seen it. I can't lie, and as soon as the game was done, I went and watched the boxing. Literally, I've recorded a match reaction and a YouTube short straight after the football, and I turned it all off. I've not checked any post match stuff, anything like that, so I don't have a clue what he's had to come out and say. If I'm being honest, and yeah, I mean, I'll have a look what he's got to say. Yeah, big up reacts, big up to yourself, mate. Big up to yourself. Big up to everyone in the chat, man. Slap up the likes. We'll be live for the next hour or so, hour and a half. We are gonna keep an eye on the Arsenal score. But yeah, we need to talk after. Yeah, you know what? I've not actually had a chance to see Arne Slot's post match. Should we have a look at his post match press conference? Let's actually have a look. I'm actually gonna have a look at his post match press conference. Let's take a listen. Oh, here we go. One sec, chat.
Arne, obviously another disappointing night. How do you sum your emotions after?
Like you said, disappointing. Again, you're always hoping if you win a game of football during the week, although it's only 2 days rest when you come over here, that of course you are hoping for a better result. But
I
was also hoping and expecting a better performance, because the performance was far from what we are used to. Even if we're losing, our performances have been better than tonight.
What would you identify most in that performance that you were disappointed with?
Doing the basics right. Although if you're 1-0 down, 2-1 down, 3-1 down with the energy in the stadium, that's definitely helpful for them. And they are a very good team in winning duels and winning second balls. So you have to give them credit for that as well. But yeah,
Go on,
of course,
Adam Walton.
it's hard
We want
to
a
win a game of
masterclass from you
football
today, Brad.
if the other team wins more duels, more second balls than you, especially
Although I think Arsenal
if that is also something they are playing off.
I can't like Crystal Palace.
And again, like I've said many times, it's also difficult to win a game of football if the set piece balance is in their favour.
I mean, that first throw, I think it was
Wild
the second
title
throw that they scored from.
Wait, what's wild? The title race is over. That's what everyone else is. Not ready to write off Slot. Definitely not ready. Definitely a crisis. Not ready to write off Slot, but he maintains several blind spots, pushing the entire midfield up and the right back up, leaving no defense to cover. Facts. I'm not on a Slot out. Like, I don't want it to come across as I'm Slot out. Me saying the title race is potentially over, right, does not indicate I want Arne Slot sacked. I repeat, I do not want Arne Slot sacked. For the cheap seats at the back, I don't want him sacked. However, I'm frustrated and I'm angry. I've had a bit of time to calm down since yesterday to actually really gather my thoughts, and I've just got to the point where, look, we're just probably not going to win the league. It's as simple as that. But let's take a little bit more listen to what he's had to say.
I mean, I presume you've been preparing for that.
Yeah. It's the only thing we did yesterday on the training pitch, preparing for that, and the meeting today. So that's not the only thing where we prepared them for, because Brentford is also known for very good set pieces, but they are also, in my opinion, known for.
Well, if they're very good at set pieces and long throw-ins, why did we look like we didn't have a clue what to do? Yes, they're very good at it, 110%. But why didn't it look like we actually had a clue? We didn't have a fucking clue. I love Slot. I want him to do well as manager. However, the stuff that he's sometimes saying in his post-match press conference is very frustrating. It's like he sees the problems, but he won't fix it. Saying, yes, the throw-ins, the Brentford are very good at it. We lost that game due to Brentford's throw-ins and how good they are, and just an all-round good performance from them. But not once did we try and tackle it. Not once did we try and define it. Not once did we look like we had somewhat of a clue in terms of defending it. We didn't have a Scooby fucking do. Just admit it. We were crap.
A fantastic counter-attack, and that was their second goal. And I think at this moment of time, and that's why it should never be seen as an excuse. But if I say it was a soft penalty, I hope you guys are not going to tell me that is a soft or bad excuse. But it was a very soft penalty to concede.
I think you made a couple of tactical adjustments at half-time, changing from back 4-4-2 to 4-3-1, bringing Wirtz more inside and Salah to the right. What was the idea behind that?
No, I think Florian played in the first half also a lot on the inside.
We couldn't
but
get
Mo
Wirtz
played
in
a
that
little
game
bit more central as well, like we did this week against Frankfurt.
The way that
if you are 2-1 down, I was expecting the second half then maybe in moments to be a bit lower, and then it's always good to have Mo on the side where he can get his crosses in, his 1v1s. But it wasn't as if the second half was completely ours. That was definitely not the situation. They were in the game a lot. And although we scored a 3-2 and maybe we had a few moments to score a 3-2, they definitely also had their moments to already score the 4-1. Also scored a 4-1.
Yes. In terms of the defeats recently and going back to last season, you've been fairly pleased with the performance. But you think it's fair to say this is the most disappointed you've been with a performance, or certainly
Well,
up there?
like, who are the people that's asking these questions? Is it fair to say you were disappointed? Fuck me. He's obviously going to say he's disappointed. He's not going to be like, yeah, I'm absolutely chuffed and I'm loving it. You know, we're going to win the fucking quad based off playing like this. Come on, man. Come on. You have like 2 hours. No. So you're watching the game. You have time to prepare your questions, and you have time to prepare your questions after the match. And that is your question that you ask him.
Yeah, I think it's up there. Yeah, in my time here, in terms of losing a game of football, because normally when we're 2-1 down or 3-1 down or 1-0 down. Oh, by the way, after we went 1-0 down, that was the only 20-25 minutes I really liked from our game today. Unfortunately, we had a great moment with Florian that didn't lead to a goal, because then you need maybe to have a little bit of luck.
I liked probably about 5 minutes.
Those moments can bring you back into the game and can give us the energy.
Every single game
but after 30 minutes, I think they took the game again with long throw-ins and set pieces, and other moments where they were just really good. So again, please don't focus on what I've just said. So they did many things well. And then I think, again, it is a crucial moment where just before they scored to 2-0, there was a moment where Cody dribbled inside the box and they didn't play the ball. I think if you would show both situations where the penalty we conceded and that moment, and you show this to every referee in the world, he would tell you maybe both or nothing, but if I have to give one of the two, I definitely would give the one to Cody. But yeah, bad luck for us was that the referee, I don't think he was intended to give a penalty for that, but he thought, let's give them a free kick. But yeah, then the VAR said, yeah, it's inside. So then if you think it's a free kick, then it's a penalty. So that bad luck maybe comes if you play a game like football, like we did today.
Arne, so what, in a bigger picture, what do you think's happening to explain the difference from last season? Have teams found you out? Is it trying to adapt to all the new signings you've made?
Oh, wow.
Is there, do you think, any
what are the people asking?
sort of feeling that the team's lost its level of performance after the huge high of winning the title? What's led to the dip?
No, quite a few things what you were just saying could have something to do with that. It's definitely, I've said this many times already, that teams have a certain playing style against us, which is a very good strategy to play, and we haven't found that answer yet, and that every time going 1-0 down doesn't really help as well after 5 minutes. So it's a bit of that teams know which strategy to play against us. We are still, even today when we don't play well, able to score 2 goals and create more chances than only the 2 goals we've scored from open play.
Yeah, but Arnold, it's all good saying that, but that's been the case for every game we've lost this season. We've always been able to score goals. That's not the fucking problem. But Liverpool Football Club, no matter how bad they will ever be, there will always be a team to score goals. Like, look at the Hogden era, for Christ's sakes. Look at the Brendan Rodgers era, for Christ's sakes. When we were poor and crap, we were still able to score goals. Liverpool will always be able to score goals. That's just like a pure fact. What's not a fact is the fact that we can't set up properly. And I just hope he's not going to go down the garden path of making excuses and becoming so naive and big-headed and egotistical, because that's what kills managers. That's what kills managers. And I'm hoping that's not going to be the same with Slot, because I like him as a manager. I do think he can turn it around. I do. And I'm going to stick on that point. I'm not this whole thing. Are you slot in? Are you slot out? I want Arne Slot as the manager. That's my answer. And I believe he can turn it around if he gets given the time and he actually uses his IQ. I actually think he will turn it around. But It's going to remain to be seen.
But yeah, you cannot even compete, which we don't do at the moment. We don't compete up there because we simply concede too many goals. And that is not something I only look at our defense, because that's something we do with 11 players together. And yeah, it definitely also has to do with if you change quite a lot during the summer, then I think it's not a surprise that it can go a bit like this. But I didn't expect it to go with 4 losses in a row. Let that be clear. But that it's always a bit of a bumpy road if you change. That is not so surprising. But 4 losses in a row, and yeah, I don't know if that has been seen as an excuse, but from the last 6 games we played, it's been 5 away. So sometimes this is also not really helpful. If you're
No. Please do not say what you're thinking. I think you're gonna say. We have played a lot of away games. Let me just rewind that back.
I don't know if that has been seen as an excuse, but from the last 6 games we played, it's been 5 away. So sometimes this is also not really helpful if you're in a run of form that we are.
It's got nothing to do with it.
We have to wait and see. He asked to be taken off, but he didn't go off. He walked off instead of needing a lot of treatment. So I have to wait and see. It's a lot of games, and in 3 days there's another one, 4 maybe, but there's another one. Yeah.
Wow. Chat, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you want Slot sacked? Because a lot of people think there's a case. Some people think he might. Let me catch up with the chat. I want us to win games if he can't. So then that's unfortunately going to happen. One way he sounds way out of depth. Definitely a crisis, not ready to write off Slot, but he maintains several blind spots, pushing our entire midfield and the right back up, leaving no defensive cover. Facts. That's why I liked it. That's why I liked the formation. That's why I liked the setup that he went for against Frankfurt, because it worked. Why didn't he just stick with that? Look, Arne Slot just needs to find a formation right now, or revert back to type, just to grind out results right now. Because right now it's about results, not performances. Performances are long gone. It's about results now. The table and everything speaks for itself. Liverpool aren't finished. Liverpool. What I mean by Liverpool finished, I mean in the Premier League title race. Insisting on technical midfield when we've needed a DM for years. Facts. We've needed a DM since like 2023. You maybe argue 2022. To be honest, you could argue we've needed a DM for. So we needed a DM for about 3 years. It's like Arsenal needing a striker. Like we've needed a DM for years. We've literally hit the iceberg going down with our paddle, you know. See, I'm not sure with even making Champions League. What, like top four or like top 4 or like, what do you mean? Not qualifying? Robertson with a whole trying a hard speech about the win games, yeah. Literally telling the opposition teams our weakness. Yeah, Palace are beating us again, on Wednesday? Slot does need to admit stuff more. Facts, yeah. Yeah, he does. Big up Reacts, likes you watching the 2 PM games. I mean, I got Arsenal on right now. So Arsenal, to be honest, Palace could have gone 1-0 up if they had a bit of IQ. And Man City are 0-0. Both games are 0-0. Big up. Wednesday 5-star. 1-0 Palace. We love conceding early. Backroom staff aren't up to standard IMO. Elaborate on what do you mean by that, David? Florian should have scored his chance. Yeah, he should have. That for me was probably the only bit of play where I was like, oh, God, I actually like that. Other than that, it was crap. That looks like AI, can't lie. What looks like AI? Bigger picture, what nonsense question. Big up, bro. I can't lie. Do you know the people that have been asking slot questions in the press conferences and all that? For me, it's been jarring. Slot had plenty of time to resolve his defensive issues. We're still conceding goals via them. It's time for him to relieved of duties as our coach. So I take it you want him sacked. How many more games? What, in terms of like, what for me, you want him to be sacked? So if you're asking me that question, see, it's really difficult to say because we actually don't look half bad in the Champions League. I think the club will stick with him as long as he's in the Champions League and the Cups. Let's say we don't qualify for the next stage of the Champions League. If we get knocked out on Wednesday at the Carabao Cup and we keep sinking, and we're like that in February or March, then yeah, I think there's a case. But we'll have to wait and see. Sadly, I think he's got 3 games to lose. It's all over. So you think the next 3 games will define him getting sacked? Liverpool fixtures, yeah? So you think these 3 games, if he loses all 3, he'll get sacked? So you got a Champions League game there, you get knocked out of the cup and you're losing in Villa. I suppose because if you lose against Villa, the title race is 100% over, especially if Arsenal win today and then next game. Real Madrid, yeah, because obviously the Champions League and Carabao Cup. Now I hear it. Stop playing 4-2-3-1. Facts. Facts. Say it louder for the cheap seats at the back. Hiding a city. I'm taking 4 to 5 going international breaks. Probably gone. So you think he'd be sacked? Slot had plenty of time to resolve his defensive issues. We're still conceding goals via them. If we want our title, he needs to be relieved of his duties as our coach. I'll be honest, Paul Smith. I don't think this is not a dig at your question, by the way. I'm not trying to dig you out, right? Who would you want to replace him, though? Because I always ask this question. Who do you want? And then when I ask the question, they're like, they don't really come up with any managerial names. So, me personally, I would give him a bit more time. That's just my opinion. I'm giving him next 3 games. Wow, Ant. And bearing in mind, people, Ant is a match-going fan. Ant's a match-going fan. Not that that's got anything to do with it, but Ant is a match-going fan, by the way. And I always say, when match-going fans want him out the stadium, want managers out, that's when you start to see the tide turn. It's different. This is no disrespect to people that don't go to games. But the club won't really care if they see some dude in like New Zealand say, yo, I want Slot out, as opposed to someone who's a match-going fan. Me personally, I've been to a couple of games this season. I've been to what, like 4 or 5 games. I wouldn't boo him. I'm not one of these people where I boo players or anything like that. Like after the United game, I just went straight home. You know? I'm not one of these people where I'll boo players and say, I want on a Slot out. I want on a Slot out. We want Slot out. We want Slot out. I won't do any of that because that's just not really my style. Top 4 race. Yeah. Top 5 race. Wolves 1-0 Burnley. Wow. Big up, Reacts. Big up to yourself, mate. Big up. Robbo was the only one talking sense. Slot and Virgil were talking crap. I've not seen what they said, to be honest. I've not seen what they have said. By the way, chat, we're 9 subs now from 2,420. So if you've not hit the subscribe button, make sure you've hit the subscribe button. Make sure you've hit the likes. Big up to everyone, man. Reading some of your comments. Our weaknesses are clear. Slot isn't giving out secrets. That's, you know, one thing that's pissed me off now. I don't know if you guys watch post-match press conferences. I've watched every single Liverpool managerial press conference. I can't remember the last time I missed one. And even if I miss it somehow, like live, I will always go back and watch it, right? Because I'm that invested into my club that way. I mean, I do content every day for Christ's sakes. As a nice little run by them, Adam Wharton intercepts. One thing that's pissing me off is the press conferences and the post-match. I can't lie. That's winding me up. That Slot interview looks AI. If Slot do get sacked, who do you get? So if I'm answering that from somebody who doesn't want him sacked, I'll be honest, I don't know. I don't know. I've not really looked at what managers are available, if I'm being honest with you. The only managers I wouldn't accept is Ange Postecoglou. I think there has been a goal for Aston Villa. Yep, Aston Villa are 1-0 up. Matty Cash. Aston Villa 1, Manchester City 0. Watch our luck now. Man City and Arsenal going to drop points. Watch. He's getting sacked next international break. We're getting battered by Palace, Villa, Madrid and City. Just have to wait and see it, dude. Palace, Villa, Real Madrid and Man City could define your season. 100%. Well, yeah, 100%. Because if we get knocked out in the Carabao Cup, you're left with the Champions League and the FA Cup. And if you lose to Real Madrid, you're putting more of a big damper on qualifying. And Villa, you're just putting the title race in the coffin. Because it could be 10 points. If Arsenal win today and we lose to Villa, and they win today in their next game, it's 10 points clear. 10 points fucking behind in November. On the 1st of fucking November. Iriola. Arteta has spent 1 billion in 5 seasons, yeah. Zidane is there, but he wants the French job, maybe Southgate. Bro said Southgate. Bro said, yo, you can have Southgate, yo. I'm already slot out since you good. Big up to you, mate. Hope you're well, my dude, as well, lad. You've got TV in your name. Have you got a YouTube channel, my dude? 1-0 Villa, yeah. Southgate. What's man talking about? What's man talking about? I'm already slot out. I found a red leaf. Okay, mate. Xavi could be your next manager. I don't think he would come to a club like Liverpool. I don't. I feel like I don't think he would come to a club like Liverpool, if I'm being honest. Because I don't want to get to the stage where we're writing off the whole season. Oh, yeah, 100%. The season isn't completely written off. Yes, the league title might be very on the verge of it being over. However, I don't think the whole season's over. Because I will always back Liverpool in Europe and in cups. You know? Slap the likes and subscribe. Goodbye, summer. Hello, all. Yep. Villa beating City 100%. People may be at the United game at halftime. We're generally thinking of getting off. Yeah, Anne, tell me I'm lying. You've been to games this season, right? Tell me I'm lying. Have there not been a few people that have spoke about slot out? Because I mentioned this on my stream, yeah? Because when I went to a game and I heard people talking about it, I thought, yeah, maybe they're just chatting crap. Ant, tell me I'm lying. We're getting top 4 this season. You're so stubborn. Oh, could have been 1-0 Palace. Flipping hell. 1-0 Villa. If we lose 15 Premier League games in a row, do you get sacked? If he lost 15 Premier League games in a row, obviously. Bro, if you lost 15 games in a row in the Premier League, has a team ever lost 15 games in a row in the Premier League? I know there's been some terrible teams like your Watfords, your Derbys. Maybe Derby may have lost 15 games in a row. Big up to Bonkers, yeah. Yeah, I have a channel. What's your channel, mate? Drop it in the description. Do you still think we can? Yeah, I still think we can do something this season. I still think in my heart that we can do something because these players aren't terrible. You know, these players are not terrible, man. Do you get what I'm saying? They're not. Norwich lost 15 games. Listen, on a slot, we're not going to lose 15 games in a row. We're not. We're not. Like, I know we're terrible, but come on, we're not going to lose 15. If we lost 15 in a row, I mean, I'll probably have to quit YouTube. I'll probably low-key quit YouTube. I'll be done. I'll be like, chat, have a good life. I'm off. I'm still supporting Liverpool, but I'm quitting YouTube because I know I'm going to get rinsed in the comments. I'm going to get absolutely ragdolled on panel shows. United lost 15, 18. Dude, I'm talking about in a row. Didn't my dude say in a row? If we lose 15 Premier League games in a row. Do I think we'll lose 15 games this season? It depends, really. It really does depend. It's, yeah. You know what, bro? Because you've been nice in the chat. Every time I always notice if someone has a channel, I always like to help them out. But, yeah, bless up to you, mate. For me, it's going to be very interesting. One second, chat. 1 second. Yeah, we can't lose 15 games. It's just 11 games to go. Bro said 11 games to go. Bournemouth. Where are Bournemouth now in the table, chat? Because I ain't going to speak about the game for a bit. We're down in 6th. Yo, if Aston Villa score another goal, they'll go above us. Bro, chat, we've conceded 14 fucking goals, man. We've conceded the same as United. Sunderland haven't even conceded half. Bournemouth go and win this league if Liverpool don't. Oh my god, chat, we're 3 off Wolves. Bro, Burnley have only conceded 1 more. We've conceded the same as Fulham. Raw, nah, man. This is looking... Yeah, I'm going to be honest. It's not looking good. It ain't looking good. Bournemouth win the league. No, if Liverpool don't win the league, yeah, fuck it. Bournemouth watchalongs. Like, Yeah, if Liverpool don't win it, I would want a team that's never really won it. Fuck Arsenal, fuck Man City. Your defense is just getting wrecked. Our defense is crap, mate. Our defense is genuinely poo-poo right now. See, the thing is, and people in the chat who have watched my post matches, my previews, 2-0 Burnley. Who's Burnley playing? Who's Burnley playing? Wolves. Yo, Wolves are gone, man. They're gone. They are gone. 5 points. Bro, Wolves haven't even won a game. They're actually gone, man. Wow. Forest are losing to Bournemouth. Chat, based off the last 5 games, we're in relegation form. We're in relegation form. We're actually in damn right relegation form. Do you know how bad that is? We're in relegation form. Let that sink in. For the cheap seats at the back, let it sink in. Because my God, it's fucking shit. Kind of Arsenal winning the league. Villa are playing best. Shall we see what Man Villa are doing? So Arsenal are 0.5. Man City. Wow, they're actually getting... That Man City kit. What is that Man City kit? Some like space, like ocean. What on earth is that kit? Ugh. Both of the kits just don't look good on the pitch. Ugh. Nah, that kit's wild, man. Even the shorts and socks. Bro, it just looks like they built some like alien looking kit. Whoa. Currently. Yep. It's for the EAFC 26. Are those IndyCar news true? Are he reliable? Would I take IndyCar news as reliable, mate? By the way, Crystal Palace have had 3 shots. Arsenal's not even had a shot. Would I take IndyCar news as reliable? I wouldn't say he's like, when he tweets, right, take him seriously. But when it came to the Isaac situation and that, he was fairly reliable in my opinion. In my opinion, he was fairly reliable. Burnley have kept the same amount of clean sheets as us. Yep. Yeah, it's bad, isn't it? It is bad. I actually do want to react to a couple of maybe clips. I do want to react to a few clips. Yeah, I'm gonna react. Should we react to a few clips? Liverpool lose to Brentford. Also got a shot, Trossard. Let's see who should we react to. People are all over the place. Ooh, let's have a look.
If you
By the way, chat, go and subscribe to Coppish, man. Make sure you subscribe to Coppish TV. Yeah, make sure you go and subscribe to Team Coppish, and they deserve way more subs. So if we can send a couple over, subscribe to them in it. We're gonna react to this fan cam. We're gonna react to a couple of fan cams because yesterday was trash. And chat, I'm gonna leave you on this. 50% of our problems would go away if we fixed the midfield.
had said to me on the 1st of September that I'd be sitting here on the 26th of October telling you that I want my manager to go, I'd have said you're crazy. Guess who's... If you'd have told me on the 1st of September that on the 26th of October I'll be sitting here saying slot out and that I want a new manager, I'd say that you're crazy. Again, football is a crazy world. And after Liverpool's latest loss to Brentford, I think I've reached my limit, unfortunately. Here's why. Now, I could get angry, I could shout, I could do all that stuff, but it's not going to really get me anywhere. But at the same time, I could say everything I'm going to say in the next 10, 15 minutes, and it might not get me anywhere either. But I do feel like I need to get some stuff off my chest and why I've reached the point where I do want to have a new manager at Liverpool Football Club.
1 second, chat.
And I want to say first and foremost, I do not hate Slot, do not even dislike the guy. I will always have the utmost respect for Arne Slot. He delivered us number 20. When Jurgen Klopp left, or when he announced his retirement, should I say, I was worried, thinking, who are Liverpool going to get next? Originally, I wanted Xabi Alonso. The affiliation he had with Liverpool previously, plus what he had done at Leverkusen, was outstanding. Got confirmed that he was going to go Real Madrid. Then I did start to look at Amorim, and I thought, 3 at the back, that's his system. Do we have the personnel for that? We're going to have to really rip up the whole squad and then get in all the players that he needs to implement that. And we've seen how long it's taken at Man United. Then we got told we're going to get Arne Slot. I knew nothing about the guy.
I'll be honest.
But straight away,
Slot was our first choice, I think. I think Liverpool won. Xabi Alonso was our first choice. Slot was our second choice due to the fact of he wouldn't rip up the whole squad. Ruben Amorim would have been our manager. He wanted the job, but he was like, yeah, guys, I want to rip up the whole squad.
Pre-season, I was like, yeah, this guy is the real deal. I saw patterns of play. I saw set piece inventions. Then we started the season on fire. Didn't expect us to win the league last season. I'll be the first to say I thought we'd finish 3rd. But then we walked the league, made it look easy. But from January 2025, and the first game of the calendar year, if I'm not mistaken, was Manchester United, that 2-2 game where we all sat there and went, Trent, his head's somewhere else right now. Trent was playing against us today. From that game right up until now, the Brentford game where we've just lost 3-2, we've had a very average 2025. Now, the first thing people might say to that is, well, we won the league. What are you talking about?
I do agree. 2025 results haven't been good. No, sorry. Let me change that. I think the 2025 performances haven't been good. We've picked up a lot of results in 2025. Yes. But I do agree with him in the sense of we haven't picked up nowhere near with the results. We haven't picked up and nowhere near the results that we should have been. Knocked out to Plymouth, knocked out to Paris Saint-Germain, poor performances, And we end up, to be honest, if we actually set up differently against PSG, which was probably on slot in that game, we probably go through. Also got a set piece here. As a 1-0 Arsenal. Arsenal winning 1-0. As he scores against his former club.
Yeah, we won the league. But if you just take this calendar year in isolation from January 2025 to October 2025, we've been average at best. Some of our performances have been marked by good results. If you actually break down our performances, if you break down how we've played in a large majority of these games, we haven't been good enough. Now, again, I'll caveat that. We had wrapped up the league quite early, so you can be forgiven for saying, like, we'll be on the beach for the last few games. I wasn't a fan of that. I came out and said that. I wasn't a fan that, the players had gone on holiday, Slot had gone on holiday before the season was finished. I think
that's why I'm giving him the time. Because remember Klopp lost loads of games in a row. Did we lose like 6 home games in a row or something like that? Like, we have to... Yeah, facts. That's why I'm giving Slot the time. I don't want him sacked. Cat. I don't want him sacked. However, the performances haven't been great. Hence why I am giving him more time, because I've seen this manager tactically show me enough that he's a good manager. I've seen this manager show me that he's good enough to win the league. I think a big portion of it is because we have spent a lot of money. It's one of the reasons why I think a lot of the fans are angry. A lot of the fans want him out, because we have spent over 400 million. And it's not like we spent 400 million on crap. We spent 400 million on quality players. Florian Wirtz is not a bad player. Alexander Isak is an elite striker. Frimpong, for me, is not a bad player. Kerkez was the best left back in the league last season, one of the best up-and-coming left backs. Mamadashvili is what your opinions are. And Ekitike has shown his boss.
You owe it to the fans. I think you owe it to the players that you play hard until the last minute of the season. Even if you have won the league early, you try and chase down points tallies. You try and lay down a marker and say, yeah, we're going to still beat teams. I remember we did that with Klopp, 1920. We'd won the league very early. We still made sure we won those remaining games, or tried to win those remaining games. We just didn't look like a team that cared. But okay, I was in the minority of that. That's fair enough. I'm not even saying my opinion was right there. But in October 2025, I sit here and I tell you as a Liverpool fan, I've kind of had enough of this. And I know people are going to see Slot out and think, oh, it's another YouTuber just chatting crap to get clicks and views. Anyone who watches our content on Coppish will know that we don't just do stuff for clicks and views. If we did that, then we'd be on more subscribers, we'd get more likes, yada, yada, yada. We speak and we say how we feel as individuals. Sometimes we all agree, sometimes we all disagree. Sometimes me and Drift might agree, sometimes we might disagree, sometimes me and Matt might agree, sometimes we'll disagree. Same with Matt and Drift. But I'm going to explain to you why I'm Slot out. And I want to start with the defensive setup and structure of Liverpool Football Club. And I'm going to ask you guys a rhetorical question, because you can't answer me while I'm recording this video, but maybe you can in the comment section. What's our defensive structure? Last season, I saw a team that was compact. Last season, I saw a team that was all defending together.
Right now, yeah, I think Cal's actually... By the way, Wolves have got one back. Cal is speaking facts here. Just due to the fact of this team was compact. There was more of a togetherness. There was more of a will. There was more of a fight. The reason to bring home number 20. You look at the way that Liverpool played. We were well controlled. We could go 1-0 up. No, sorry, 1-0 down, and we wouldn't be concerned. How many times did Liverpool go 1-0 down last season to the likes of Southampton's of this world? And we would come back and we'd be like, yeah, we're going to come back and win this game because of how well controlled or how balanced we are, how dominant we are on and off the ball. That's one of the reasons as to why we played so much better last year. Yeah, Arsenal are picking Palace apart here now. And we're a shadow of that. The midfield just completely disconnected. I use the best analogy. It's like having a PlayStation controller, having the wire to your PlayStation, and the wire's broken. That's Liverpool right now. The wire is broken. Let's pretend the PlayStation's the attack, the wire's the midfield, and the controller's the defense. Right now, it's all not connected. The wire's broken. That's literally what it is right now. Because right now, every time a team goes forward, we look like we're going to concede, just due to the fact of where our positions are on the pitch. Look at that second goal. Where the fuck is the midfield? Where the fuck is the defense? Genuinely. Where is the midfield? Where was the mid? We've all seen that graphic. That graphic where there was no midfield against Manchester United was a fucking disgrace. We genuinely may as well play loads of attackers and a backline of 4 and a goalkeeper, because what's the point in having a midfield to do what we need to do, to create chances, to defend, to be compact, to be resolute, to protect the defence? Where's Gravenberch being the sweeper 6 of last year? Because that's what he was. He was the sweeper 6. He was cleaning up, him and Alexis McAllister. That's why Liverpool was so well drilled. That's why they were so well balanced, so calm and composed on the ball. And the blueprint to beat Liverpool this year is exploit the midfield and get a butt ton of throw-ins, and you will score goals, and you will score goals, and you will score goals. I can't lie, though. I do actually think we are missing Alisson. Mamadashvili has been nothing but fucking shaky. I thought he was good against Chelsea, and that was about it. Every time he's been in goal, we just look panicking over the back. Look at that against Manchester United. Setting fear into the back line. Let's see what else.
Last season, I saw a team that were all willing to fight for each other to win that ball back, to make sure we had control of the game through possession. I don't see that this season. I see disjointedness in our defensive setup. I see a defensive setup whereby teams are able to play through our midfield. They're able to get to our back line. At the moment,
the midfield is so high up. And he's speaking facts. The midfield is so high up. At times, Ryan, chat, go and watch games back. Sometimes I do that, right? Ryan Gravenberch is higher than Florian Wirtz at times. Why is my sweeper 6, the person that's meant to be in the pivot, higher than my attacking midfielder? I repeat, my attacking midfielder.
Ibu and Virgil versus the attack.
Smash these likes, by the way, chat.
Long have Arsenal been ridiculed for playing the quote-unquote 4 centre-backs and 3 defensive midfielders.
Make sure you're subscribing as well.
But guess what? As of right now, Arsenal is sitting here, have only conceded 3 goals in the league, if I'm not mistaken. In fact, I'll go and actually check what the actual number is so I don't misquote it. But we are sitting currently in the Premier League, just the Premier League, we have conceded 14 goals. In 9 games, Liverpool have conceded 14 goals. That is atrocious for a team that's trying to win the league. It is often looked at, from what I see, that we are literally just saying to Virgil and Ibu, you guys defend and the rest of them will just do whatever. It's not sustainable. The best defenses are units, not just great centre-back pairings. And I know the centre-back pairings and the goalkeeper will often get the plaudits. Raya will get the Golden Glove at the end of the season if Arsenal continue the way they're going. But ultimately, it's not just Raya who's defending for Arsenal. It's Timber who's strong in one-on-one duels. It's Calafiori who's strong in one-on-one duels. It's Gabriel who's dominant in the air and strong in one-on-one duels. It's Saliba who's good with the ball at his feet and strong in one-on-one duels. It's Declan Rice who will graft and fill in for a centre-back if one of those goes out of position. It's Zubamendi who will take control of a situation with the ball at his feet. It's Marino who will fill in. It's all these players who are willing to put in the defensive work. But at the same time, that comes from the manager. So if the manager's not setting us up in a defensive structure that allows our team to be defensively solid, then that lies at his feet. The next thing that's really wound me up is defending from set pieces.
The defending from set pieces is a fucking joke. From corners, from... Why do we look just so rigid, so far back? No one's marking each other. It's like all our players are kind of just stood together and it's like, yes, lads, we're going to do this. No, you mark him, mark. Yesterday, there was a point in time where there was like 3-4 Brentford players unmarked.
I'm not mistaken, Liverpool were 1 or 2 in terms of ranking for best defensive statistics from defending set pieces last season. This season, whether it be a corner, a free kick, second balls in the box, throw-ins against Brentford, we struggle. When Brentford got that throw-in in the first 5 minutes, I sat there and I thought, we're in trouble here. I panic every time Liverpool concede a corner or a free kick close to the box.
Chat on my watch along, I was saying
sometimes we win the first
on
ball.
my watch along yesterday.
Second ball.
On my watch along yesterday, I was like, I can't lie, yeah. Watching us defend throw-ins and set pieces is worse than watching The Exorcist. And I don't even recommend anyone to watch that film, by the way, because it's not a good film to watch. It's one of the darkest horror films I've ever watched, right? And for a few days, I can't lie, I wasn't myself. For some reason, when I watched that film, it does things to people, yeah? Don't watch that film, because that film is more, I say scary, it's a lot more terrifying than, I don't know what's more terrifying, watching The Exorcist or Liverpool take, or Liverpool defending throw-ins.
That second ball often ends up in the back of the net. That's not good enough. I'm going to go through what is Arne Slot's preferred starting lineup, it seems. Maybe with an extra player here or there. I'm not going to disregard Alisson. Alisson, the goalkeeper, 6'3". Remember, that's really 6'6". Frimpong, pretty short. Conor Bradley, I wouldn't be surprised if Conor Bradley is about 5'11", 6 foot. Konate, 6'4". Virgil, 6'4". Kirkes, I think 5'10", 5'11". Gravenberch, 6'3".
Big up everyone, man. Smash these likes, yeah, man.
Tallest, but McAllister's not played as much as Szoboszlai, for example, this season, who is 6'1", if I'm not mistaken. Gakpo, 6'4". Ekitike or Isak, whoever's played up top, 6'4". Mo Salah on the shorter side of 5'9". Out of your starting 11, it's often 7 players in the team who are 6 foot and above.
Fact, there's no excuse. There is no excuse to not be able to defend a set piece. And especially considering the majority of our defense, the majority of the players who are tall and stacky are meant to be the players that actually defend, protect the ball, like your Gravenberches, like your Van Dijks, like your Konates. You've also even got a fucking goalkeeper in there who can come out and catch the ball, can come out and punch the ball, but none of them seem to be able to do that.
It's not a height issue. It's a desire issue. We cannot defend set pieces. Not only that, we struggle to score them. That Frankfurt game, that was a blast from the past. Virgil and Ibu scoring from set pieces. We struggle to score from set pieces, but we struggle even more to defend from set pieces. Therefore, we are constantly going into games with a pressure on us that is not only not to concede goals, don't even concede set pieces. That's not sustainable. In fact, that's poor on all fronts. Then tactical setup. Last season, we often defended in a 4-2-4, but we had Luis Diaz was a pressing monster. RIP, we had Diogo Jota was a pressing monster. Szoboszlai in the front four was a pressing monster. We don't have that now. Wirtz, not a pressing monster, but he's good in the press. Good, just good. Not great. Gakpo, again, okay. Salah doesn't really press anymore. Isak, just good. Ekitike, just good. But behind that, there's no pressing structure at all. In terms of just tactical setup, we go with this 4-2-3-1, but sometimes we've seen Wirtz deployed on the left.
I wouldn't even call
Recently,
it. I don't know how you can call it a 4-2-3-1.
Do you see him
Can't
deployed
do cow dirty there with the pause.
on the right?
Yeah, you can't do him dirty there with the pause. I agree. How is it even a 4-2-3-1? Because you know your 4-2-3-1, you meant to have the two, right? So you go obviously the goalkeeper, then you got your back line, then you got the two. What's the point in a fucking double pivot? When I've got my Gravenberch, my McAllisters at times higher up than fucking Florian fucking Wirtz. Yesterday, Curtis Jones was higher up in than him at times. He's a fucking attacking midfielder. Not a centre back, not a full back, not a fucking double pivot mid. Our attacking number 10. Ten. 10. And my brother is behind Curtis Jones. Is behind Gravenberch at times in the attack. We had a corner yesterday, yeah, and Florian Wirtz was all the way back. So do you know you got all the players in the box? Yeah, Florian Wirtz was all the way back over here. He was long gone. He was like fucking down. It was like he was like all the way down the flipping Route 66 road. Why is he there? And these are the little things where it's like, is Slot picking up on these things? Because this is also another counterpoint where it's going wrong and going wrong and going wrong. Because when we get counter-attacked, you've got fucking just Florian Wirtz and Bradley basically back. Lovely defensive setup.
This is a marking.
And this is where I spoke about Gravenberch being the sweeper six. Because when he was in the sweeper six, we wouldn't concede counter-attacks. We'd have a back line behind him. But no, this time we just have a bunch of players just trying to defend a counter-attack. That second goal sums up our tactics, our cohesion, our tempo, just every single thing under the fucking sun. That second goal. Rewatch that fucking second goal.
Number 10 we've purchased, and we're playing him left, right, on the bench against Man United. Then you bring him off in games when you're chasing a goal. We brought off Florian Wirtz when we're chasing an equaliser, or chasing a goal, should I say, and brought on Joe Gomez to play right back. Meanwhile, Szoboszlai has been our main right back.
Just like Endo. Do you know when we brought an Endo at Crystal Palace? I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? 1 minute you're trying to chase a game, 1 minute you're trying to see out games. Which one is it? How can you bring on Joe Gomez when you're losing a match? Is Joe Gomez Hakimi? No, enough said.
Back this season. And that leads on to my next point about team selection and substitutions. Salah is an absolute world-class club legend. There's an argument to say Salah is the best player Liverpool have had in the Premier League era. Now, me personally, I think it's Gerrard. Salah's top three, minimum. Minimum, he's top three. At a push, he's one or two. I know some people argue Suarez because of, the talent he had, but he never had the longevity of a Salah. Obviously, Virgil's in that conversation as well. I personally think Alisson should be in that conversation as well. But Salah is At worst, he's third best Liverpool player in Premier League era history. And he's a legend. One of my favourite players of all time. I'm a Salah fanboy. I'll say it. I'm proud of it as well. Salah fanboy. He doesn't deserve to be starting games right now. And hasn't deserved to start games for a little while. Then you look at McAllister. Last season, especially the second half of the season. Excellent. Some vital goals. You remember the header against Everton at Goodison Park, the opening goal against Real Madrid, the goal against Fulham, the goal against Spurs, which lifted the roof off at Anfield when we lifted the trophy on that day. But this season, McAllister's not been good enough. So why is he still getting game time?
I don't know why McAllister's getting game time. I've been saying it for some time. Alexis McAllister should be at this team for the next couple of weeks. And that's not due to McAllister as a footballer. I think McAllister's a top 5 midfielder. Maybe not now because of current form, right? However, in my opinion, Alexis McAllister is, based off last season, for me, he was top 5 midfielders, top 6 in midfielders in the world football. And he's clearly not that, so take him out of the team. I think he's just physically knackered and dead. He needs taken out of the team ASAP because you're just doing more damage.
Then you look at other players. You look at Gakpo, who, yes, granted, in his last 3 games, he's got 3 goals before the Brentford game. But his form and his application in the game hasn't been great. Constantly ignoring the overlapping run of Kirkes, constantly cutting in field and being predictable. Liverpool's Player of the Month award went to Federico Chiesa.
By the way, yeah, that's an embarrassment in itself. No disrespect to Chiesa as a player. I want Chiesa to start games. The last 3 previews, I've said Chiesa against Frankfurt, I said Chiesa against Brentford, and I said Chiesa against Man United. Chiesa in all 3 games, I said start Chiesa, start Chiesa, start Chiesa. Chiesa didn't make 1 start for Liverpool last month in the Premier League. And my brother got Player of the Month. Player of the Month. One more time. Player of the Month, and he didn't make 1 start in the league.
When was the last time Federico Chiesa got a start in the Premier League? That is shocking man management. Konate went for a really bad spell. And granted, Konate's turned it around in recent weeks. But in that bad spell, if you're Joe Gomez, how are you feeling?
And that's naivety from this manager. Why doesn't he drop players who are not in good form? Why? Why are you not dropping Mo Salah? Yes, okay, cool. He got us a goal yesterday. Fine. Why don't you drop him? Why are you not dropping him? Why are you not dropping Konate before he's... I think Konate's actually been probably decent in the past couple of games. I think in the past 3 games, he's actually turned his form around slightly and he's actually been quite good. However, Saliba's just come off a mascara. Interesting. Why is he not... Why not change it up? Get players out of fucking form on the fucking bench. On the fucking bench. Even if you don't like Chiesa, fucking play him. Why? Because he fucking performs. He scores goals. He gets assists. Before the previous 2 games, Chiesa was averaging a goal involvement every 33 minutes. 33 minutes. Stepping up for the team, pressing for the team, scoring in big individual moments when needed to be relied upon. Why not? Why not get Joe Gomez up to speed? We talk about Joe Gomez. Oh, he can't play for Liverpool, guys, because he's not fit. Joe Gomez hasn't been injured this season. Go and look at the team sheets. Gomez on the bench, Gomez on the bench. Why not get him up to speed and play him? Yes, he may not be better than Konate or Virgil van Dijk. Yes, he may not be better in our system than Virgil van Dijk and Konate, just like Chiesa, but at least they fucking try. At least you're trying something. At least the fans at home could be like, you know what? Yes, it's me not be working out, but at least he's actually trying to change things tactically. I applauded you on Wednesday night. Because you changed the system. You dropped players. You dropped Mohamed Salah. You dropped Alexis McAllister. You dropped Kirkez, who, by the way, he's acting like fucking Darwin Núñez at left back. Darwin Núñez's soul is still at this football club. As of right now, this is not Milos Kirkez of last season. Someone needs to have a serious chat with him, because why is he so erratic every single fucking time he plays? Every single time. Erratic. Just like I know he played the bees yesterday, innit? But he was like he was stung by a bee the way he was running around. He was being chased like a bee. Backing out of challenges. And that's another thing about yesterday's performances. Fucking cowarding, ducking out of challenges, just hiding away from the ball. No one taking responsibility. I don't give a fuck if Virgil van Dijk is the captain. Someone else take responsibility if Virgil van Dijk is not going to take responsibility. Someone else say this is not fucking acceptable. Someone needs to come out in a post-match interview and say this is not acceptable, because right now we're just being flooded with PR. We're being flooded with, it's all right, we'll turn it around, a couple of more games, No, not fucking another couple of more games, because otherwise the season will be over in a couple of more games. Listen, we have 3 games to save our season, in my opinion. Because if we lose to Real Madrid, there's a big chance we don't qualify. Go and have a look how many points you need for last season. You need 16 points. Liverpool on 6. If we lose to Real Madrid, that's 4 games to go. We've still got to go to Inter away and Marseille away. Minimum. PSV are just slapped up Napoli, by the way. Qarabag, 2 wins out of 3. And I think they could pick up a draw. So it's like we've even got easy teams to play in the Champions League. We get knocked out in the Cup. We've kind of only got the FA Cup. But no, look, we'll fucking get Plymouth. And we'll go naive and not go strong in that and not take it seriously. I love Arne Slot. I want him to stay as our manager because I believe he can turn it around. I think tactically he's actually a good manager. I think he's shown he can turn things around. He's shown he can pick up results when Liverpool are losing. He's shown everything previously before. But he's not showing it now. He needs to go back to fucking basics and fucking build up from there. Fuck this fucking fancy shit. Like Gordon Ramsay says in Kitchen Nightmares, go back to basics. Fuck all the fucking fancy shit, the Italians food, the Francese food and all this and that. Nah, go back to basics, grind out results, slowly implement your style of play. Fucking joke. We've got problems at left back. We've got problems at right back. We've got problems in the midfield. He's fucking disconnected up at top. We've got players wanting to not take responsibility. Players wanting to hide on the pitch. To protect their egos, to not get attacked in the media. It's pathetic. Someone needs to take responsibility and man up and let the problems out. Because I'm sick of hearing these excuses of, oh, but we did create a lot of chances. Okay, so we're just going to be fucking the create a lot chances FC team. Well done. We are the create a lot chances FC team, guys. Set pieces were a fucking joke. That second goal, I'm still fuming. I'm still fuming at that second goal. The way that we got sliced up like it was fucking Fruit Ninja. It's not a fucking mobile game. This is real life. Naivety. Again, this is what kills managers. Stubbornness, not wanting to change. not wanting to change. If the players don't fit the system, change the system. Because this system ain't working. This tempo ain't working. This style of play ain't working. We are slowly dropping down, dropping down, dropping down. We're Liverpool right now in the Premier League table. Right now, off the last 5 games, we're in relegation form. Let's go to all. Liverpool are in 6th. If Aston Villa score 1 more goal, we go to 7th. If Tottenham win later, we go to 7th minimum. We could be at 8th place. 8th. Look at that. 7 points behind Arsenal. In fucking October. 7 points. There's no excuses. Oh, we need time. We need more time. I get we need time because we've just spent 420 million. You know, we have just bought in a lot of players. I could understand it. We're not the finished article. I'm not expecting Liverpool to be finished article, but I'm expecting Liverpool to be able to do the basics. I'm expecting Liverpool to be able to be resolute and still be compact and still be to be able to defend. We've not spent 420 million on up and coming players. That's gonna, take a bit of time to get better, take a bit of time to gel. We signed an elite level striker, one of the best 10s in world football, one of the best left back in the Premier League last season. A good squad addition, Jeremy Frimpong. Hugo Ekitike has shown in this season what he's about. And it's just so frustrating, man. So frustrating. So frustrating. Big up to everyone though, man. Smash these likes up. Smash them up. I'm going to get through some of your comments. Big up to Ravi. I do agree with Cal and Kopish. Liked. How is Kiza and Rio not starting currently over Salah and Gakpo? I don't know. Why not? We can't defend counters, bro. Facts. Big up. Big up, slap the like. Seen the Cal video. He spoke nothing but facts. McAllister. Ravi, I've mentioned this. Me and big up to Fozzie, yeah? Me and Fozzie had a chat about this. I would say about when the season started, I think. And we spoke about the players individually. Alexis McAllister looked drained. He looked knackered out there. Looked like an old man. Take him out the team. Please, take him out the team. And I'll say this now, we need to be very careful on Ryan Gravenberch and Dominic Szoboszlai. And you'll find out what to come at the end of the season. And if you know, you know. I said it last season, Kies should start, but I was laughed at by the fan base. He's too injured to start. Chiesa has been fit this season. There's no excuses to not be giving Chiesa. There's no excuses to not be giving. There's no excuses to not be giving Rio and Gamo a couple of chances. There's no excuses to not be giving Joe Gomez a couple of chances. There's no excuses. There's not. Madrid Barca at 5:15 because he's a small squad. I've been saying Chiesa needs to start. Pep does it with Holland and Roger and other bench players with them. No hesitation. Yep. Chiesa isn't the answer. We can't complain that our team isn't set and then rotate everyone. Gomez is only cover at centre back. But the point of the matter is, mate, if someone is playing poorly, take them out the team. Playing poorly at the team. You're telling me Joe Gomez can't come in for 1 or 2 games while Konate sat holding the bench because due to his performances. We've seen Chiesa start games actually, by the way, and done really well. Just saying. I think we're going to micro. Our problems are bigger. Slot out, clueless. Chat. Look, you guys are entitled to your opinions. If you're on a slot out, that's up to you. Any signs of him getting the sack? I don't think he will get the sack. I just don't think he will. I'll be shocked if he gets the sack this season, unless it goes really south. We need a 4 midfield 4-4-2, alternate Salah and Isak as one of the 2 forwards next to Ekitike. I agree. I want to see that. Nunes drank dank on Etihad and Liverpool tears 2 days ago. Slap the likes and subscribe. Yeah, big up to Zia Talks, man. Team for Carabao, Woodman, Bradley, Konate, Robbo, Gravenberch, if fit, Endo, Maka. Why would we play Maka though? He looks knackered and drained. And then we're just speaking in riddles then by that point. We need to get a centre back in January. I don't give a fuck. as 3 of our wins on extra time. Big up footy and everyone. Big up to you, mate. Stats matters. Chiesa has been the best player. Yep. We were lucky to be at 7th. We can't have players playing poorly starting. Chat. In our 5 wins, you could argue, if you want to do the basis, on another day, we're down here. 4 Premier League losses in a row. 5 defeats in 6. Not even West Ham have had 4 in a row. Not even Nottingham Forest. Not even Wolves. Only us and Fulham right now are on 4 in a row. And they'll beat Fulham next week. We could have a world where this could all be red. Fucking man. Fuck's sakes. But yeah, chat, bless up to everyone, man. It's been a good stream. Very good stream. Chat, we'll send you guys over for a raid because I can't lie, I'm fuming, and I've also got to do a couple of things as well. Busy day on that. So listen, we're gonna go and send you over to my good friends Ear Talks. Slap all the likes, subscribe, bless say reacts raid, and bless up to everyone, man. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. As always. Take care, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow. I'll have a couple of videos out going today as well, some shorts. So yeah, take care. Peace.